Hello, everyone. Welcome to Claret and Booze. You know who I am. My name's Nick. I'm joined this week by the Wilmington Chef, Canning Town-born JayCee, who now lives... Is Wilmington out in Kent, Jay?
Yeah, and Dartford. Yeah.
And Dartford.
I like to say Wilmington. I try and leave the Dartford name part.
Yeah.
Dartford.
My office where I work is based in Dartford.
All right. Yeah. Which part?
Yeah. They are... it's Crossways Business Park, so it's just over the bridge, and then to the left.
Okay,
that's where So that's where they're based. But look, you're a long time West Ham fan, Jay.
Yeah.
Lifetime?
Born and bred into West Ham. Upton Park days. Getting smuggled in as a kid by my uncle. Going into the chicken run, getting fucking boosted over everyone's heads as a kid, and really, really good fun memories. Seems like a lifetime ago, absolute lifetime ago. Cut me open. Claret and Booze then, but
Claret
and Blue Blood.
I'll tell you what, mate, and it changed though. When you talk about them days when we used to go initially at the start, it's so different now. It's so different.
Don't feel real, Nick.
No,
don't feel real. It feels like I made it all up in my head.
I know.
I mean, the state of what I see over there now when I go down there. I mean, last couple of years has been good, but the stadium's just fucking pathetic.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't get the same feeling. I know my kids don't get the same feeling I got when I was a kid. I try and envisage to my kids what I had growing up, and this is what they're having, but they're not getting nothing like what we had.
Do you think they? I mean, I don't think it will ever be like that. That was different. That was special. That was raw. You know, it was spit and sawdust back then, literally, wasn't it? You know, there was something different about supporting the club, and that's the thing. We were never a club that won anything, but we were almost like this sort of exclusive little club, and no one outside it understood it. You support West Ham. You know what? Why are you proud? We were different. We were different. You know, it was a proper family. You know, and. Yeah, some of the characters you got over there. That's what got me when I first started going. You're sort of looking up all these big fucking airy characters. You know, all the colourful language, and you know the jokes, the banter, and it did feel a little bit more like a family back then.
Yeah. You felt looked after, Nick. As a kid, you felt looked after. Everyone was your parent. On match day, everyone was your parent.
Mate, 100%.
And now it's not like that. You know, like. I had a few run-ins with a geezer in front of me this season in Bobby Lower. Yeah. Every time a game kicked off, he'd spark up a cigarette. He'd open a can of booze. Not fair enough, but, you know, I've got two kids sitting behind you, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to smell the cigarette. Like, back in the day, they'd be like, oh, there's kids there, mate. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But now, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's completely different.
It's a bit different. I mean, I remember that, actually, sort of Upton Park. I remember went down at half-time, because my trick was going down at half-time, and then I'd end up missing the first 10 minutes of the second half because I'd still be standing there drinking and talking. But, you know, it used to get rammed down there. It didn't matter what stand you was in. You know, the concourses were absolutely rammed at half-time. And I remember this, little kid went missing. I don't know how old must they have been, about 6 or something like that. And you know how busy it got down there. And I just remember this big bloke, massive geezer, just looked down. Where's your mum? I just said that to him. I don't know. Just literally picked the kid up like that and went, whose is this? Like that. I basically held it there for about 5 minutes, and then everyone was going, whose kid's that? And then eventually the mum who'd been scarpering up and down sort of looking for her, and then what he did was he put her down, he went, stay there, don't move, your mum's coming. Like that. That's what he said to her.
Yeah, fucking brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fucking brilliant. You wouldn't get anything like that now. You know,
well, you wouldn't even try and touch a kid now, because the moment you pick someone else's kid up, you're in trouble. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's just different back then. But what are your thoughts for sort of the upcoming season? Because look, we know kind of what we've had for the last 3 years. You know, some people I think people have enjoyed it. Some people have really enjoyed it. You know, especially those that have enjoyed the European journeys. If you've been part of that kind of very small select crowd that's been going up, back and forward, you know, to the European games, I can imagine that these last 3 years have probably been your best time of supporting West Ham ever, based on that, because you've been travelling all over Europe supporting your team. But I think for the wider fan base, I think it's grown very, very testing at West Ham, because it's not been enjoyable, like you just said. Couple that with the disconnect that you feel when you go to the stadium over there watching that football. I think it's been awful. So I do think, although we can probably not get back that feeling that we had when we first started going over at West Ham. I do think you could improve it massively if you made it a bit more engaging on the pitch, didn't you?
Yeah,
you know
massively. Yeah, massively. I've enjoyed the last couple of years. Obviously, coming out of that season in lockdown, which saved us, to be honest, that Lingard season.
Yeah.
We've rode a fantastic couple of years, but the football has been shit.
It has been.
This season's been terrible. I mean, look, what 4 games from January we've won, whatever it was. Just fucking come on. I win. That's what I do. Come on, boys.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean? Could I say, did we fluke it? Did we fluke the journeys? I don't know. I enjoyed it. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we lifted that trophy, I was in tears. And I looked over grown men in tears, all crying.
Yeah.
You know, when we won the FA Cup back in the early 80s, I was just a kid. I was a nipper.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember that. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, it was special. It doesn't matter what you want to. Well, look, I've said it before because, and it's quite horrible. You feel dirty for doing it, for sort of demeaning the trophy. Look, it isn't the trophy. It isn't the competition. It's just the fact that it's just the fact that we fucking won it. The fact that we actually won something. You know, for the first time in 43 years, whatever it was. First time in I was born in 1980. I don't remember the FA Cup, but born in 1980. Tough paper round. You know,
77 year of Star Wars.
Yeah. So I don't remember it, and it was just amazing. The actual day itself, and we've as fans, we've earned it. We've massively earned that. You know, and it was special. That, you know, what was kind of pissing me off was the fact that people were using it, because you had to kind of separate it then, because people were using that as a reason as to why David Moyes should stay here forever and be awarded a lifetime fucking award of being a West Ham manager. When you think, what are you fucking talking about? The season that cup run was in, we almost got relegated with Declan Rice and Lucas Paqueta in the team. You know, so you can separate the two. You can be grateful for the win and love the day, but come on. You know, it was a great achievement for West Ham, but as a manager, it wasn't a great. He hasn't done well for a few years because the money's in the Premier League. You know, when you look at the positions that we dropped in the league from the previous season, 7th to 14th, that disparity in money that you lose by dropping those places, that wasn't even covered by the cup win. So it was a poor season financially compared to the previous year, where we was also in Europe as well, because we'd finished 6th a year before, and that's kind of where I sort of lost it completely, really, with a lot of the fan base, because it was almost like he won us a trophy, even towards the end of this season, which was, as you said, shit. He's won us a trophy. You've got to give him a new contract. Winning's what he does, and you're like, fuck, really? You can't see past that trophy. You know, that's what I mean. You can be really grateful for it and acknowledge that it was an amazing day, an amazing point in most of our lives, you know, because we haven't witnessed it before. But be able to separate the two and go, that was a really good achievement, but look, it's time to move on. In retrospect, I said it at the time, but in retrospect, most people will acknowledge now that he should have moved on after Prague. That should have been his goodbye.
Yeah, completely agree. 100% agree. And he would have been more respected for that as well.
He'd have gone out a hero.
Yeah, absolutely. A legend, club legend.
Yeah.
You know,
because
is he better than Lyle? Is he better than Lyle? I don't know.
No,
but he would have been
not at all.
He would have been in the same conversation if he would have left.
Yeah, 100%. Because at that point, if he would have left at that point with the shit Premier League season we just had, nobody would have remembered the shit Premier League season then. You know, if he'd have left, the last living memory of David Moyes would have been lifting that cup. That would have been it. But he's outstayed his welcome. Now, look, I suppose it's very difficult. Maybe, you know, they're on a lot of money. He was on $5 million a year. Does anyone walk away from that sort of money? I don't know. Probably not. You know, not that he needs it. He can't need the money.
This is the conversations. When I hear these conversations about these managers and about will he get another job? Can he get another job? He doesn't need another job.
No.
They've got money.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like when we lose our jobs. Like we've got a very small bit of money to last us.
Yeah.
You know, Moyes, just fuck off and enjoy it, kind of thing. Like,
well, Moyes was being paid by about 3 different clubs at one point, wasn't he? Because he got the Man United job, and I think they gave him like a 5-year deal or something. So they didn't pay him off; they just continued paying him. Now, I was always told that clubs did that until you found another job, and then those payments stopped. But apparently not the case with the Man United job. He got everything that he was owed from Man United. They paid him the full whack. So when he was at Sunderland, he was getting his Man United pay pack. He was getting, I don't know what came first. Was it Sunderland or Real Sociedad?
Sunderland, I think, wasn't it?
It was Sunderland, yeah. So there was one point where he was creaming it in. So being shit for him paid big time, because he could lose his job, go on and get another one, and yeah.
I wonder how many fucking clubs are paying Mourinho off then.
Oh mate, could you imagine? Yeah, he loves it, doesn't he? He absolutely loves it when he gets bought. That's the thing. Why would they care like them? Well, if you don't like what I'm doing, get rid of me then. You still got to pay me.
And that's it. And that's what's wrong with football, though, right?
Yeah,
because if that happened back in the 80s, or even the 90s, that never happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, managers back then used to love the club.
Absolutely,
and that's why when Bilic took over West Ham, we all loved that, because he was a legend taking over. He knew West Ham. Having Nolan there, he knows West Ham. You know, it's like,
I think Bilic was the last manager I had a real emotional connection with. The last one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, I just loved him. You know, that season, 15-16, and then seeing him. Do you remember in the international tournament that followed, and Bilic was on the punditry, wasn't he? And you just saw how proud he was. And that last game at Upton Park, you know, people go to David Moyes really happy doing his little dance, his little jig, but I tell you what, that was nothing compared to the pictures of Bilic crying his eyes out at Upton Park when we won that game. He was proper emotional. He loved the club, Bilic. He did.
He did, yeah. And the thing is, I think that's been kicked out of him now.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Sullivan's just fucking duffed in so many people from our time now. There's fucking gonna be no one left soon. Do you know what I mean? Look at Tony Cottee. He's always fucking slagging him down now.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I think... and Cottee, to me, he's a legend. I mean, I remember '86 really well. Cottee was my first ever footballing hero, and then to hear things what he says about the club now.
I think what it is. I think with a lot of the ex-players, though, certainly from that, even though I'm sure he earned a bit, but a lot of players from that era didn't earn the same level of money, so they're trying to make money now. So they're doing it. You know, I don't think what you ever get from these people is entirely what they think either. You know, I think sometimes they're, I know they're not. You know, I know that there's ex-players that have been on other fan channels, because it's not something that we typically do. That have been on other fan channels, and they'll be talking to the host before the show with a completely different outlook to what they project when they go live on camera. It's completely different. Some of it is literally polar opposite as well. Like when they were talking about David Moyes, it went from he's fucking shit, most useless bloke I've ever seen at the club, to, yeah, look, he's done a great job. But look at what he's achieved. Look at what he's achieved in 2 years, 3 years. You're like, what? This one guy, the host, was like, what the fuck? He didn't even get any warning. So he wasn't expecting it either. He weren't expecting it. You know, it had about a 10-minute conversation where the guy was just ranting for about 10 minutes about David Moyes, and then went on and blew smoke up his ass.
Yeah. You can tell that goes on all the time. You can tell. Like I went to Dartford Social Club a couple of weeks ago and see Waldy and Julian Dick's night.
Yes.
And I was blown away to go and obviously meet Dix and stuff. I've seen him in the flesh, but I never met him or whatnot. But he just turned into a massive fucking cash cow. We paid like £17.50 a ticket to get in. Took my boys, got in there. And it was 15 quid for a photograph.
Yeah, I know.
Then it was auction after auction after auction, and everyone got fucking pissed up, and people were paying fucking 900 quid for Waldy's autograph.
Were they?
Yeah, that's all fucking beard up, man. And I'm sitting there thinking, you can just go down to fucking Stratford on a match day to see him for free. Do you know what I mean? Get him sign anything. Couldn't believe it. But yeah, it turned into a cash cow, and I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest. Especially in Dixie. I know he's got to make a bit of money, but nevertheless, man, we're still fans at the end of the day. You know, we made you part of our club.
I mean, if somebody said to me, "You've got to pay me for a photograph," I'd say, "No, you're all right."
Yeah, but the thing is, you knew afterwards, you better catch him on stage for free and take a free photograph.
Yeah.
So what was the point paying the 15 quid before, just because someone's got a nicer camera, I guess?
Yeah, I suppose so. No, it is what it is. But look, like I said, I think most people know what they're going to get when they go to those things anyway. And I've got nothing against it, really. You know, I think I
had a great time. I had a great time.
They've got to earn a living still, wouldn't they? You know, like I said, when they didn't earn the money that these guys earn now. No way. They didn't earn anywhere near it, and that was when it was a problem, because it was a short career. So you almost needed to earn enough money to fucking see your life out, and that's what footballers do now. You know, They work for 10 years and it's all right, innit? They work for 10 years and they ain't got to worry for the rest of their lives.
I mean, well, I don't know. Do you think one day we see Declan Rice sitting in fucking Dartford Social Club? Do you know what I mean? Having a chinwag with all the fans.
I don't think they'll need to. I don't think they'll need. I think this could be like the last generation. I don't think they'll need to. You know, these guys, they do. I'm not saying because don't get me wrong. Like Tony Cottee, he fucking winds me up some of the stuff that he says as well. But I've got no doubt in my mind that he is a West Ham fan. I do think he is. I do think he is a West Ham fan. I do. I just don't agree with 99% of what he says now. He pisses me off. And he's always been like one of them. He's always sort of headed up the. Whenever we've had takeovers, it was like Pi Capital.
Yeah.
It was always his consortiums led by Tony Cottee as a front man. You're like, fucking hell, mate.
He's always tried, isn't he?
He's always tried. I don't know whether I trust him. That's the thing. I don't think I would. I don't think I trust him.
I would never want a consortium to take over West Ham anyway. The next owners need to be footballing people. They really do.
Well, either that or, I don't really want the Qataris or anyone like that. Having said that, I don't know. I think that type of takeover might just have died with Newcastle. I really do. Mm-hmm. I think that that could have, because they weren't expecting when they went into Newcastle, because obviously they've got a bottomless pit of cash. They probably thought they could come in, and then just turn them into Man City. Well, no, you can't do that now. Not with fair play. You can only spend what your club makes, not how much money your owners have got. So I don't think that they were expecting that, and it is being enforced now. Well, I say it's being enforced. We'll see what they do to Man City in the end, because I don't think they'll do anything to them. I really don't.
But the thing is, Nick, I don't even want owners to come in and plough loads of money into the football to make us a top 6 club, because that's never going to happen, because Sky is never going to fucking allow that. But I want someone to come in and go, what's wrong with the stadium? What's wrong with the match day experience?
Yes.
What's wrong with the disconnection between the fans and the players? This is what I want. I want all this corrected.
I think it could be, though. I think it could. I think that's the one thing that we will see. I think when we do eventually get taken over, or the current owners end up buying the stadium, because I'm sure that's what they're waiting for. I think they're waiting for it to almost be offered.
They want
it
for a pound. They want it for a pound, right?
Yeah. I think that's what they're waiting for. Then we might see some changes. Then we could do. But with the team sort of moving into next season, so obviously, look, we've got Lopetegui. Thank God, praise the Lord. People. I was one of them. I was very excited when we was linked with Amorim, and some of these other names came up as well. Mm. But now it is Lopetegui. You look at what he's achieved elsewhere. You look at the type of character he is. I think this could be fucking brilliant for West Ham in terms of the next stage of development, because I think it's. Because don't forget, this is Tim Steiten's project, so I think that he is phase 2. I think this is a staged manager that can come in and make use of some of the assets that we've got already, not make it too much of a culture shock by completely going from David Moyes to Ange Postecoglou ball. This is somewhere in between. He's still it can be a bit of a pragmatist, but he does play different football. It's all about controlling the game. I think he will be able to make use of the youth as well. And what I do want to see, do you remember when Arteta went into Arsenal? And Arteta started buying all these young kids, spending loads of money on them. People like Ben White when they was young, and bringing all these players through. And they had a really fucking young team. But they weren't quite clicking. But it was obviously a long-term project. They was thinking 1, 2, 3 seasons ahead, and now you're seeing the results of that. I think that could be what we start to see now, because if you look at that Wesley that we're linked with, that we're still going for Corinthians, Gilherme from Palmeiras, that's a 30 million winger on the right, that's a 20 million winger on the left. They're probably looking, I think they're looking at a project like that, because if you look at Jared Bowen, he's 27. We might not, I hope we never sell him, but if we do, probably next season is probably the last season or the season after. You'll get to sort of make some serious money off of him if he carries on improving. And if you've already got his replacement that's sat there, Kudus is another one. If he has a second season like he's had this season, he ain't going to be here the season after. So if they're going out there succession planning, going out there buying young players, which I think is what their plan is going to be, I'm all for it. I'm quite excited by it. And that's not even talking about the great players we've got in our academy that will definitely be coming through as well. That's what most fans want to see in it. We want to see just have an understanding. I think if you can, even if next season weren't great, providing you can see what the plan is and you can see that there is a project, and then you can actually look to next season and go, next season's going to be better. I can see that these players, it is going to click. They are going to push on. But I think the issue that I've always had since we've had David Moyes, every season's been a big fucking mass rebuild. The team's always been old because he's never managed it any other way.
Mm-hmm.
So every year you're like, where are we going?
And then he fucked us back in January.
Yeah, I know.
By getting rid of Benny fucking Fornals.
Exactly, but you look at the squad at the end of the season, like now, you look at it and you think, fucking, where are we going with this? Yeah. Whereas, hopefully, if we have got a project and it starts and we start seeing these young players come flying in, and by the way, that Gilherm, wow, I've looked into him even more. He's 18, just turned 18, by the way, 30 million, mate. On this kid's going to be fucking mustard. I mean it as well. What with him and Wesley on the other side. Whether they'll get straight into the team or not, I don't know. But I think with the teams that are sort of in for him as well, apparently Liverpool and Chelsea are also interested in these, and Bayern Munich are interested in Gilherm. But he ain't going to walk into their teams. Whereas at West Ham, we can sell him. We can say, no, you're developing at the moment. You don't want to be sitting on the bench for the next 2 years, 3 years. You want to be playing. Look at what we've done for the profile of Kudus. Look at what we've done for the profile of Declan Rice. Look at what we've done for the profile of Paqueta. That is how you get these players in. We're a good showcase club. And hopefully, that ain't always the case. Hopefully, we can make that transition. We can become top 4 eventually. Then you can start looking at retaining these players. But for the time being, if FFP is going to be ruling the roost over football, then it's going to be the clubs that run well as a business that are going to benefit the most. And running well as a business is buying a player for 30 million and then selling them for 120 and making your team stronger as a result. That's how you'll grow. That'll be the difference. So I do think there's sense in what we're doing. None of us like the idea of being a selling club, but look, who isn't a selling club really? You know,
we've always been a selling club, Nick. We've always been a selling club.
But are you that bothered now? Because I've always hated it. I remember when Diangana was sorry, I'm so nasally, by the way. I've got a fucking cold. I remember when Diangana was going to be sold and everyone went mental, right? We went crazy.
Yeah, even Noble tweeted about it, right?
Yeah, but the reason for that, right? The reason for that is because our club are useless at spending money, and you worry that when you get someone, you've got to keep them because how are you going to replace them? I must admit, with Tim, I don't feel like that now. I almost feel like even if we sold Kudus, I'd just be excited about who he was going to go out and buy next. I feel like the guy just knows what he's doing. And I don't think you can really get as attached to players like you used to. I mean, I think I'd like to think we'll always have one player in the club that will be there for kind of a long period. You know, that could be Bowen, right? That could be Bowen. I think he could go on.
As long as he stays with Danny Dyer, it's going to be Bowen.
Yeah, I think it would be nice for him to see his career out with us, and he certainly ain't going to Newcastle, is he? Danny Dyer ain't going to fucking Newcastle. No chance.
No way.
I don't
think Bowen does. I think Bowen loves the club. He loves the fans.
I think he does.
Bowen does. He comes across as a proper West Ham player.
Absolutely. And when that story broke that I broke ages ago about Bowen won't sign his new contract because he wants a really low release clause, that was true. But that wasn't because where I got that. So I got that information right, but I didn't get the reasoning right. So what it was, the reason that Jared Bowen was asking for a low release clause was because Sullivan was playing silly bollocks trying to get him to commit to a comparatively small wage for the player that he is. And he was going, no, I'm not signing that. If I want to sign, I'll stay. I'll sign a contract. But if you're not going to give me the wages that I want a low release clause. I didn't know that. And the minute that news broke, obviously it was quite embarrassing for the club, and it sort of raised a high alert for everyone else. It took them about 2 days to get that contract signed. Literally, Sullivan must have gone, all right, yeah, fine, I'll give you what you want, fuck off, you know, just 80 grand a week, whatever it is, which he's worth every penny, isn't he? You know, Bowen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the goals he got last season, fantastic.
Yeah. You know? He does love the club. He does love the club. So I think we're lucky to have him. That's good. That's because
we need that. We need that West Ham man there, because now we haven't got Noble. Now, okay, we ain't got Rice no more. There has been no one. He's the next one, but I don't think he's strong enough for captain material.
We have got a couple coming through, right? We've got George. We've got not George. We've got George. George Urphy.
Yeah, Urphy.
We've got Freddie Potts, and there's a few other kids that are coming through as well. We've got Caden Casey, the centre back. There's quite a few young players.
Downs is going to come back.
This is a difficult one for me because I'm thinking of the player. If I'm just looking at it through West Ham lenses, I would say be selfish and say, yeah, keep him because he'd be a great backup for Alvarez. I don't think you're going to play two number sixes in the same team. At least I fucking hope not. So Alvarez is going nowhere. He'll have 5 or 10 games in the season where he's either injured or unavailable because of his bans that he gets.
Cards.
Yeah, that he gets. So is Downs going to be happy with that? Is Downs going to be happy playing backup at this stage in his career? He's a proper player. You know, he went and got Player of the Year at Southampton. If he went to Southampton this season, he'd play every minute of every game. Is he going to be
He's
happy?
loved there as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Is he going to be happy? He's loved by that manager. That manager was his manager at Swansea.
Right, okay.
That was his manager at Swansea as well. So this guy loves him. So I don't know. I think the right thing for Downs, if we are just looking at him as a squad player and not a first team player, is to sell him and cash in on him now, because we've got a team in Southampton that will pay through the nose for him. They'll pay 15, 20 million. They will. Next season, if you have a season of him where he's not playing so much, you ain't going to get that sort of money for him. So I think when you look at it now, you've got Alvarez, you've got Freddie Potts, who is a number 6, who we want to develop. So he had a great season at Wycombe. He could come in, he could be the backup for Alvarez. We could blood him into the team, build his value and build his experience as well, and then use the money that you get from Downs to go out there and buy an actual partner for Alvarez, because we need a powerful number 8. We do need that. You know, we need that sort of that player that can progress the ball forward either through passing or carrying the ball. And they've got to have defensive qualities as well. And I just think that we need that. There certainly ain't Ward-Prowse. I know a lot of people love Ward-Prowse. Maybe we'll see a different Ward-Prowse under Lopetegui. Maybe we will. You know, where do you sit on the Ward-Prowse debate?
I mean, he scored a cracking corner.
He did. He did.
That's probably about it. I mean, when he first joined us, he obviously got some great assists.
Yeah.
I think people probably hate me for this. I think he's a one-trick pony. And I think the one trick that he's got is in his head. You know, coming to West Ham and choosing number 7 because he's trying to equal Beckham's number or whatever, he's already put stress in his head.
Yeah.
And he's not converting, he's not delivering. I think I'd move him on, to be honest.
Yeah. No, well, he's another one, because if you're looking at football economics, football in terms of, you know, running the club as a business, you know, trying to beat FFP and making yourself as strong as possible, you've got to sell people at the right time to maximise the money that you get back from them. Mm-hmm. He's on a massive wage. We paid 30 million for him. He's on about 120 grand a week. That's a lot of fucking money, right? I don't personally think my thought is that Lopetegui is going to be starting him as a player in the Premier League. I don't think he will be. So at 29 years old, this is the perfect time to sell him to someone like Southampton, who again will probably give us back almost the level of money that we paid for him, to a degree. There are teams out there that would absolutely benefit from Ward-Prowse, and they'll pay. But the longer that goes on, the more you know. If he turns to 30, 31, you're not going to get any fucking money for him, and we're burning through wages at the moment. So if Lopetegui isn't going to use him as a starter, he's another one. I'd 100% ship him out. Souček is another one, you know, because I don't think Souček is going to flourish in a team that want to retain the ball and pass it. So he's not going to do any fucking good in that team. He's going to look terrible. So if you're going to sell Souček, you sell him now. He's 28, 29. He's still a good player for the job that he does. So for the right team that play the right style of football, Souček's worth every penny of 15, 20 million. Mm-hmm. He is. You know, he's a great box crasher. He's still worthwhile. So I think they've just got to make changes. I know there's concerns over changing too much too soon, but I don't know. I just think I'd be happy to take this as a transition season, wouldn't you? Just fucking.
I think we have to. I think it's get as many out as we can and bring in as many as we can, and then just change everything. Yeah,
that's it. There's a few of them. You got Danny Ings. He's obviously going to have to go, I think, sadly. Apparently, Southampton are interested in him. Kurt Zuma's going to have to go. He's going to have to go.
I mean, I mean, what happened to his legs? I mean, the geezer had to do a little skip just to get going.
Did you see that? Have you seen the close-up of his knee?
No, I don't.
Have you not? Gary posted it. He was sat in the changing room. There's a picture, mate. He's got like an arse crack going over his knee. It's literally, he's over the front of his knee, obviously through surgery. The geezer's legs, he's broken. Bless him, he's broken.
He is. Yeah, he is.
You know, I do like Zoom, and don't get me wrong. I think he's been a good servant for the club. You know, I think when he's played, on the whole, 90% of the time, he's been superb. But he ain't going to last too much longer, is he?
Oh, he's been great for us. We're going to make no money. We're going to make no money back on him.
No,
and he's only going to get injured.
100%. Yeah, I don't know how
he's only going to get injured and be out for the rest of his career. How about Mavropanos? Where'd you sit with Mavropanos?
Yeah, I like him. I hope he is in Lopetegui's plans. I think he suffered in the defensive structure that David Moyes put in place, which was just inviting the opposition just to completely batter the defence. You know, I think you've got to be Bobby Moore or fucking Franco Baresi or Maldini to not fuck up in that situation. So even the likes of Aguirre, who was shocking, I'd be keen to give them all another bit of a crack. If the team's going to play a different way and we're going to be playing on the front foot, a little bit higher up the pitch, not backs to the wall, and controlling the game, then I'd give these players, Mavropanos and Aguirre, definitely give them another crack. I think from what I've been told though, Aguirre's virtually made his mind up. He wants to go. So
yeah, that's what I've been hearing that as well. Yeah,
because that's what can happen sometimes when you keep. If a player's having such a bad time, it's like if you're in a job, you know, if you're having a terrible time at work and your manager's shit, but your company are doing nothing about it, and you're basically being abused for a year, you'll end up hating the company.
Yeah, that's what's happened.
Yeah. That's the thing. You'll be like, I don't care who the manager is. I don't want to play for this club anymore. So it could be a little bit of that. So on the whole, though, you excited for next season now for West Ham?
I don't know if excited is a word. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. Yeah, well, yeah, of course, because everything's going to be changing.
Yeah.
And then every pundit's going to, wish what you wanted for, whatever they were saying about Moisey.
Absolutely.
You know, if we don't start off good, I mean, it could fall apart pretty quick. And some, only some, not all of our fans, but some of our fucking fickle fans, you know the ones talking about.
There's people waiting for it to happen. I don't think it will. I don't think it will.
No,
because I'll tell you why. And I think that's why Lopetegui is a good choice, because he can do what needs to be done. He proved it with Wolves. So when he came in to save Wolves, who were bottom at the time, and he got them up to, they absolutely piss safety in the end. He can adapt. He hasn't got one size fits all tactics. So if things ain't going well and you ain't creating, he will to a degree. He will tighten things up. He'll get best out of a group of players. Whereas sometimes if you get in a manager who's only got one philosophy and one style of playing, and it's attack, and it like Bielsa, and it ain't working, I don't care if I get relegated. I'm gonna carry on playing the same way. Lopetegui ain't like that. So if it ain't going well and it ain't clicking, and we're dropping down the table, he'll go, no, fuck this. We're gonna have to stick a pin in this for now, and tighten things up. So I do think that it's a wise appointment for us.
I just hope that he
in a
uses
transition
the bench
season
as well.
Oh, he will 100%. That's one thing he does do. He will do.
That's good.
And that's what, and I think that's important. And he'll rotate. He'll rotate as well. So you haven't got that kind of set in stone. It isn't a big deal to be part of the starting 11. Oh, you're my starting 11 player. No, you're in the squad. We're all part of the squad. You know, it's kind of how all top managers do it. You know, if you've got a player that's useful from the bench, you've got to make them believe that even if they're only getting 10, 15 minutes, they're every bit as important as the players who are starting the fucking team. Because tactically, like Antonio, mate, you're amazing, but we're going to wait until the defenders get a little bit tired, and then you're literally going to go on and beat fuck out of them. And that's where you're going to score your goals. You'll score as many goals because you've got 100% of your energy, and you're going against depleted centre-backs. So literally, there's different ways that they can, a good manager will motivate anyone. I mean, how does Pep Guardiola manage to have a squad like he's got, where he's got a squad full of superstars? They don't fucking moan. They don't piss and moan all the time when they're not playing. And that's because of his management, not because they're Man City. That's because he obviously knows what to say to players to make them all feel involved. They all feel like they're part of that team, even if they're not playing.
Apart from Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, he's fucking... Don't talk about him, mate. Bad.
He's going to Barcelona, isn't he?
That's the worst signing ever. Worst signing ever, isn't it?
Worse than Roberto?
It's worse. It's worse. That was bad. But at least Roberto
yeah.
didn't stick his finger up at a fucking fan on a coach when he left. Did you see
But
that?
why is there? Yeah, I did. But why is there a geezer waiting there with all the kids anyway? I mean, that was a bit weird for me anyway. But yeah,
It
don't
was
stick your finger up.
it was weird, but and I don't think it's right for anyone to throw abuse at footballers. By the way, I think you're, especially in that scenario there, I think you're a dick for doing it. But when you're Calvin Phillips and you've just been an absolute fucking disaster when you come in, you don't turn around, shrug your shoulders, and go "fuck off, mate. I'm on 180 grand a week. See you later."
Yeah, what are you on?
He's been an absolute disaster. The guy, he has been.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on. So the reason that we're doing this show today, obviously, this is something that we do for our platform anyway. But I'm releasing this one to everyone on the on YouTube, and this is we do a Boozecast. So that's where me and or Mickey and Gary will go on with some of our members from our community, and we'll do a show together, a proper show, like this, and then we put it out on our platform. But this one we're gonna open up to the wider world, and there is a reason for it, and that is because JayCee is a chef by trade, a top chef, and I'll let you talk a little bit about your situation in a minute, Jay. But he's fallen on hard times, basically. Jay suffers with epilepsy, PTSD, and off the back of his job, which he's done for absolute years, could believe me when I say this geezer's a top chef. You'll now have a look at his Instagram pages and everything else. Stress. He had a heart attack a little while ago. Was it? How long ago was it, Jay?
October 22.
October 22. So, and it's obviously taken him a little bit of time to get back on his feet, and he's tried everything to get back into work because cooking is literally all the guy knows. And it's arriving at a stage now where it's getting quite desperate financially because the guy needs to make money. He does need to do that. His passion is cooking. That's what he wants to do, but he's struggling to get back employed in the kitchen again because it is a high stress job. It is a high stress job. And like you said, because you obviously worked in London, John, and it's, I suppose word gets around and stuff like that. I don't know. And you just found it very difficult, haven't you?
Yeah, it's a very small industry, Nick, especially in the corporate catering world.
Yeah.
Where everyone knows everyone, you bump into everyone. Every company you move to, there's always somewhere that you've worked with or someone's worked with you.
Yeah.
And then, say 28 years in London. Then after my heart attack, returned back to work. I was put on light duties for 12 months.
Yeah.
And then after that 12 months, John served his time, so let's make him redundant. Nothing to do with the heart attack. It's just to do with rejigging the workforce around.
Yeah.
But then coming out of that, yes, getting a little redundancy package, which is what I was worth. And then looking for other jobs. When you're phoning up a recruiter you've known for years, and the first question they ask you is, "How's your health?"
Yeah.
Why are you asking me that firstly?
Exactly.
And even recruiters, I don't even know, "How's your health?"
Yeah.
So everyone's found out about I've had a heart attack or I've had some seizures in kitchens.
Yeah.
Everyone's heard about it, but so everyone's kind of like leaving me alone now because I get it. I understand it from a health and safety point of view. I get it and I understand, but not been. I've been out of work now for 4 months. First time in 28 years, and it's tough. It feels like, but once your career feels like it's come to an end and you can't do nothing else, and you're the breadwinner.
Yeah.
It just feels like life's over.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know, and obviously, John has been part of the our support network now for a couple of months now, and obviously we've been talking to John, helping John as well. And as he just said, in terms of professionally in a kitchen, John's finding it very difficult to get back into work. But what we've done is, and this is kind of we've kind of encourage John to sort of get out and get back on his own feet again, because cooking is what he does and he's amazing at it. So doing street food, basically. So that is, he's going to need a little bit of investment to get himself up and running. There's, because to start off with, John, you want to do pizza ovens, don't you? It's kind of so you want a gazebo set up, because what John can't do is he can't get a van at the moment because obviously he can't drive because of his epilepsy. So it needs to be something that he can pack quite easily into the back of a car so he can be dropped off to a site, whatever, he can set up and away he goes. So it's going to be kind of a gazebo set up with some high quality pizza ovens, a dough machine as well. And I will post I'll post a link in the thread as well to a session you was doing. Was it this weekend just gone with the
last weekend? Yeah.
Making
See me stretching pizzas out.
Stretching pizzas out, yeah. So we're gonna post that in there. So John needs some help from the Claret and Booze family to help him get back on his feet, and there's a certain amount of money that he needs to reach so that he can go out there and buy the equipment that he needs. I've already sort of posted that link out on Twitter. John's shared it on Facebook as well. And kind of like I said, we've kind of convinced John to do this as well, because it isn't an easy thing for somebody proud like John to do, because you don't want to feel like you don't feel like you said, John, you don't feel right doing it. But the fact of the matter is, you've got a wife, you've got 2 young kids, and you need to get back on your feet. It's as simple as that. And this is a way for you to go out there and do you know what? You'll be working for yourself. You might not ever want to go back to a kitchen again. That's the thing. That's the thing. So that's kind of what we're doing. I'm putting a link at the bottom to the GoFundMe page. He's not far off, by the way. You only put the link. When did you start the link, John? Was it on Friday?
3 days ago, Nick. Yeah, Friday.
3 days ago. And the target is $5,000. You're already over 2, aren't you?
Yeah, 2,247. I think I'm on. Yeah.
There you go. Already over 2. So
which is touching. Really touching.
So people are really sort of chipping in to help this guy out, and he does need help. And like I said, we will share this journey with him anyway. The whole way through. So once he is up on his feet, and he is out there, and it is going, you'll see, the benefit of the help that you do give John as well, because we'll be posting regular updates on John as well. He's part of our platform. He runs the food section, the Claret Cooks, and the food posting wankers, is it for the chat?
That's what it's turned into, I think. Yeah. The idea was to help people, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. But so that's what we're doing as well. The other thing that John is going to do as well, because John is a bit of a gourmet chef, so some of the stuff that he puts on there, well, it's pie mash. You got your pie mash recipe on there, and all the others. But a lot of his dishes are sort of gourmet. But because we do this health and safety offering on our platform as well, Jay does the fitness, he does the fasting. We're going to go on and start offering a little bit of nutritional help as well, and you're going to help us with that, John, aren't you? In terms of recipes and techniques for knocking up, quick and easy healthy meals and stuff like that. So that's all going to be sort of done through our platform as well. So like I said to you, you'll see a lot of John on the platform anyway. And if you can help, like I say, go to that link, GoFundMe, help him reach his target, help him get out there so he can start helping people again. And you'll be able to follow his journey on Instagram, the Wilmington Chef on Instagram. I'll also put a link to that in there as well.
Thank you.
He's also got a website as well, which I'll put a link to. This is for events that John can do. So do you want to talk a little bit about that, John? What sort of thing you can do from an events perspective?
Yeah, so events-wise, to make me kind of different from everyone else, I like to cook on fire cages. So not barbecuing, not braaiing, but cooking good food over fire. So a lot of the events I like to set up in fields, in farms, in gardens, in school fields, and just put on buffets. It could be fine dining, it could be sit down, it can be at weddings, it could be birthdays, anything that you like a bit of smoke. Yeah,
sounds brilliant. Honestly, we're gonna have to. Well, we are talking about doing something ourselves where you'll be kind of hosted, because I know a lot of people. This isn't official yet, by the way, but towards the end of the summer, hopefully when this fucking rain stops, because it's forecast to rain for about 3 months. We're going to get a date in late summer for Claret and Booze Fest. So it's going to be, the plan is we'll have one day where you kind of come in, you pitch up a tent, and then we're going to have all day where we're kind of eating. We've got a couple of in-house DJs as well and performers, people, singers from Tenerife and Benidorm. We're going to be coming over as well. If we can coordinate it all logistically and get everyone in the same place, it'd be an amazing day. And John will be sorting the food out as well.
And it'd be nice as well, Nick, because I've planned a pie and mash dish, but done on a barbecue.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Have you really?
I have, yeah.
What part is done on a barbecue?
All of it.
All of it? Really?
All of it. Yeah.
That'd be amazing. That'd be
amazing.
It, yeah. So
I've taken the eels out though. I've taken the eels and I put pickled cockles in.
Oh, lovely. Oh, there you go. Yeah. There you go. Because eels, do you know in the liquor, just very quickly, you know the actual authentic traditional East London liquor?
Eel water.
It's eel water, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what it is. I don't think a lot of people know that. They just think it's parsley sauce. It ain't.
Yeah, no, it was the normal gelatine from the eel stock that thickened it, and then you just threw chopped parsley into it, and that was it.
Yeah, because it is a bit different. It's lovely, isn't it? You can't beat it for me.
I mean, when I make liquor now, I still make it with fish stock.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, mate. Do you make it often?
Not as often as I'd like.
Yeah.
But at least once a month.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
growing up, my mum would make it weekly. We'd either go out as a family, or she'd make it weekly. So I grew up with it. At least once a week, I'd have pie and mash. But yeah, at home, it's a little bit more harder. Obviously,
Yeah.
'cause when I'm at work, I'm working, so I'm not cooking. And then my missus is from North, so she likes hers with gravy. So I make her sit on a separate. I'll make her sit on a separate table.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you can't have pie, mash, and liquor and sit on my table.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And have gravy.
Yeah.
And then my youngest wants gravy, and it turns into a shit show. So just me and my eldest, we just have pie, mash, and liquor together. Loads of white pepper, loads of chili vinegar, and then watch the other two just poke around the gravy.
Oh God! And just to clear this up, right? Because it's been quite what's the word? It's been quite kind of outspoken. A lot of people, because people post pictures of their dinner and stuff like that on food posting wankers. That's what they do.
They do.
But there's been quite a few people that have posted pictures of their pie mash with what some will say is their pies in the incorrect orientation. Can I just ask you, what is the correct way, do you believe, to have your pie in pie mash and liquor? Is it crusty side up, or is it crusty side down, upside down? What way should it be?
Crusty side down.
So they've got to be upside down.
So, and then upside down, and then your mash to you, is it a swipe or is it an ice cream scoop?
It's always been a swipe for me.
It's a swipe, yeah. It's a swipe.
They just smash it on, don't they? Just swipe it.
Yeah, you got to swipe it on. Pie goes straight on. Loads of liquor in the middle. Loads of vinegar. Beautiful. Yeah.
You can't beat it. That's what I'm going to go and have after this, actually, I think.
It's like the whole conversation of fucking scones, jam and cream, innit? But it's like, how do you have your pie, mash and liquor? That's a weird one.
Yeah. But no, look, that is brilliant. So that's giving you a little bit of a heads up on Jay. So if you can help him, please do. We want him to get to his target as quickly as possible, so that he can get out there and start earning money again. For his, like I say, he's got a wife and young kids. Needs to get back on his feet, and all he wants to do is go to work. That's it.
Let me feed you so I can feed my family.
Exactly. Okay, right. That is very good, Jay. Thanks very much for joining me, mate. We'll talk again soon. We'll have a catch up in a couple of months when you're out there, mate. You'll have to tell us how your business is going.
Fucking, I'll come down and pitch up outside the stadium, and sell some food for some good value for money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know. Well, do you know, the good thing with pizzas is, though, if you get a proper good pizza oven, how quick can you cook a pizza?
90 seconds.
That's the thing, isn't it? That is mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is
16-inch pizza? Nice.
What is the temperature that the oven has to get to for that sort of
450 degrees.
Oh, that's proper.
But you get a good oven, and it stays that heat. It maintains the heat, So pizzas in and out. I can do 24 16-inch pizzas in under an hour.
Yeah. Bloody hell, that's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, so that's a no-brainer.
That's dough ball to box. Yeah, it's no-brainer.
Yeah, good.
And who don't like pizza?
Everyone loves pizza.
Who don't like pizza?
Yeah,
exactly. Everyone loves pizza. Yeah,
that's it. All right, lovely
Maybe
stuff.
we make a claret and booze pizza.
There'll have to be. I'll think of the toppings that go on it. Yeah. All right, lovely stuff, Jay. Top man. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Come on.